Oh, and now it's working like this. Okay, so I'm just gonna wait for y'all to find me again. Excuse the break. No, Lily, no. You can have some strawberries. You can have some raspberries. Um, and let me do another share here. Okay, so let me. Yeah, welcome back, welcome back. Thank you so much. Um, let me get up. I hope you can see that better. And if anything, just message me after the live and I will send you this image. So, what I want to go into is what it means when you have these cravings, what your body is asking you for. And then I want to go into what you can replace it with. So, instead of grabbing directly for the chocolate, ask your body, is it true? Oh, yeah. Ask your body, like, is it true that you're asking for this, that, or the other? And I'm gonna teach you how to speak that language with your body. Hi, hi. Yay! Oh, no, yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking, but enjoy it, baby. She just had three chocolates, and I was like, if you want something sweet, I know, but it's all good. I'm being uh, I'm being raw and honest on here today. Hmm. Yeah, and then I am going to continue. In other words, I'm bothering you. Sorry. No, no, like I already had some interruptions in between, so. Okay. I don't know. But yeah, like I said, if you need this image, I can just send it over to you. But you can take a screenshot for yourself. Uh, but I'd be happy to just exchange information. Just popping my cauliflower on the baking tray so it can do its thing while we talk. I don't want to continue too long, but it is a very deep subject, and I would love for you to tell me afterwards if you want more parts, and also if you would like it in Dutch, if you are a Dutchie. All right, my oven is on, the oil is on, where's the salt? Here. Garlic powder, salt, and a little bit of cumin. There's so much to talk about in about like just minerals and where to find them and like how to eat like your spices and your herbs, man. Don't underestimate those. Everything that the Most High made for us is nutritious in one way or the other. Okay, timer. Boom, I'm coming back. So thank you for waiting. Yeah, let's get into it. I think some of the most common ones are definitely displayed over here. What I know from myself, I never really had like a chocolate sweet tooth. I go through phases. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, I want it, and sometimes I'm like, no, I don't want it. But what I want to talk about is how to listen to those cravings. We are pretty much everybody is a holistic being. Like we are the mind, we are the soul, we are the body, we are everything in one. So um, the moment you are, uh, and especially for us women during our like menstruation, um, we are pretty much in spiritual warfare because we get the first of all, menstruation is not supposed to exist for us. Okay, this is something that came over the years, and yes, as a collective, we used to bleed together. We used to, we had red tents, and we came together in those times. But if you go way back, when we were in a state of optimal and like divine health, we did not have a bleed. We did not have a menstruation. But over the years and over the generations, we have developed a system internally that has allowed us to let go of things through menstruation. So we have learned to hold on to stuff. We have learned to not and especially emotional stuff and like mental stuff. We learn to hold on to it. We all collect that information in our wombs, and so the whole cycle of all the 4 seasons, which is the season of inner winter, inner spring, inner summer, inner autumn, and then the whole cycle starts again. um, we are meant to honor every season that is in us. But in the society that most women live in now, that cyclical way of being and that cyclical way of um, just going through each phase and flowing through it has been pushed out of us because we are expected to stick to the patriarch way of doing things. And us women, we just simply cannot do that. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because it changed everything about us. We are trying to do things in seasons when we don't actually have the energy for it. We are expected to go to work when we're menstruating while we should be resting when we're menstruating, and we should be having meetings and good communication in our inner summer when we're ovulating. We're supposed to have we're supposed to sit in a in a class kind of setting for ourselves when we are in our inner spring, because those are the times that we are learning the most. Like just like the season of spring when everything is coming up, blooming out of the ground, we are supposed to do that too. Like have a slow arising after our bleed, like slowly rising back up and slowly coming back into our energy and feeling like we are dancers. We're supposed to dance through this life. But yeah, I'm mixing topics. But anyway, cravings for processed foods is something that also like came about in this whole disruption of things because naturally, and let me just take menstruation, like the actual bleeding time, as an example, so that we have somewhere to start. Because for most women, it's either in inner autumn, which is the premenstrual phase, or during the bleed that we are like, oh, you know. Um, but it's really about your body asking for nutrients. If you are craving chocolate, it's not about giving your body the chocolate. It's about starting that conversation and reconnecting with yourself and saying, oh, this is interesting. My body is asking for chocolate. What does that mean? And we live in a beautiful day and age where we can actually look these things up and like, make ourselves wise about it again and reconnect with it again to see what is in chocolate. Before it became processed, what is in chocolate? What is chocolate? Where does it come from? Go back to the roots. Go back to where it all came from. And then you will learn that chocolate is like a big fruit, like cacao is a big fruit, and it's filled with these little fruit pods. And those little fruit pods, there's some white flesh around it that you can eat. And then inside of that flesh is a little bean kind of thing, about this big. And when you roast it and you crush it, you get cocoa nibs, and cocoa nibs are super rich in things like magnesium. And if you learn what magnesium is good for, it is actually to relax the body. And then you've gone back to the basics and you realize, oh, my body wants to relax. This is the kind of conversation that you need to learn to have with your body in order to give it what it's asking for, because the cravings are a language. The cravings are saying, my body needs something right now. But the way our society is set up now with all the fast food and everything, it's actually saying, give me the quick fix. But no, 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 no. We're going back to the basics. And if you're looking at fried foods, for example, that's pretty much a question of, hi, Mom. Hi, baby. Mom, what did you do for your birthday? I'm not choosing anything for my birthday. Okay. Yeah, mommy is talking about what it means when your body is asking for those things, these things. Yeah, I love you. And hang on a second, y'all. So when you're looking at fried foods, for example, those are about fats and oils. What is your body asking for? What do fats and oils do in our body when you look at the healthy kind? So let's take olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, for example. It's really rich in omega 9, which is something that our body cannot easily make, and we need to actually be ingesting it so that we can have better blood flow. Um, so we can. Okay. Okay. So we can nurture our brains, have that blood circulation functioning properly to our brains. Lily, we made a deal before mommy went live, remember? Uh, yeah, that one, right? There you go. Excuse me, my love. Thank you, baby. Yeah, so that's with the oil. Um, so if you really start to pay attention to that, like, oh, I'm craving fatty foods, then you need to have that conversation like, okay, body, what do you want now? What do you need now? And yeah, it could be as simple as, having an avocado, which is really, really rich in essential fatty oils, or you make a salad with some extra virgin oil on top of it. Or what is also really amazing are chia seeds, which you should, by the way, never ever just eat like that. Like always soak them in water beforehand, and always make sure that you're hydrating a lot afterwards because you don't want to get constipated. Very easy to happen. But chia seeds have omega 3, 6, and 9 fatty acids. And depending on the state of your gut, that's what decides the strength of your cravings. So if you have a lot of sugar in your system, if you eat a lot of sugar throughout the day, and I'm not talking about fruit, I'm literally talking about refined sugar, like white rice, white pasta, those things turn into sugar in your body. So if you have a lot of that, then it's pretty um, pretty much expected that the craving isn't yours, but that the craving is that of the bacteria that are in your gut. Because if you keep feeding them sugar, they love sugary stuff, they grow from that. If you keep on giving them that, they start having a language of their own. And what you will notice internally with yourself is also that you feel like your intuition is off, like you can't really trust your gut feeling. That's where it comes from. Or where you're just feeling completely disconnected from yourself. Those are all signs that something might be going on in your gut. It's wow, it's so deep, y'all. Everything I'm saying, I'm like, oh yeah, I need to talk about that one day. I need to talk about that one day. If you can let me know in the comments how it's like, reaching you so far, that would be great because then I know where to direct my next lives. I want to keep it within the hour. I don't want to go too far. But I do want to chop it up in nice sections. If you like it, let me know so that I can go on. Um, Well, then we have sweets and desserts, for example. A lot of foods that we eat are also emotional, right? So we find comfort in eating certain foods. Thank you, Diana. Thanks. We find comfort in eating certain foods because they raise our serotonin levels. So sugar does that, the fats do that, but the starches in the fatty foods do that as well. So when you're looking at sweets and desserts, for example, that's the whole package. That like, yeah, that really comforts the spirit, and you can still give yourself this. You just gotta go back to the basics, go back to real food. So, what is this made up of? This is flour, this is refined sugar, this is, if you like it, it's chocolate, but it could also be cream, it could be butter, like, and there's a lot in that. When you make it from scratch, you know that a lot of stuff goes in there. But like me, I don't like to bake. So for me, when I see my daughter has a muffin now because her dad got her one, mind you, our whole family, so this whole family system, we were on that sugar motor. I was the first one to quit sugar, and now we are bringing a bit of moderation into the others slowly, but we're not there yet. Um, but if you look at that, very, very sweet, very, very fatty, very, very delicious, and very, very comforting. But there are two questions you can ask yourself. The first is, um, do I want to give my body quick satisfaction? And the second is, what is this cry for help? Because we all know it. When we see some, like for me, it's more on the salty side of things because I have always had a low blood pressure and I've always had some form of anemia, which is like Oh shoot, I don't know how to say that in English, but it's like like not a lot of blood, and not a lot of iron in my blood. So I've dealt with that my whole life, so I know exactly what that feels like in my body, which is really handy during pregnancy as well, because I can always like supplement with extra iron when I feel that I need it. But so I've always dealt with like having to bring my blood levels up and having to keep my blood sugars right. So I've always kind of known what that feels like in my body. But if you're more of a sweet tooth, then that tells you something about, first of all, your gut and what you've been brought up with. And it could probably also mean that you might have a history of family members with diabetes, like with the sugar problem, for example. Um, and, these illnesses or these imbalances, what they really are, they are genetically passed on in a way, but not in the way that the medical system tells you. It's a more of a spiritual thing, because as soon as you go back to the basics and you release that trauma from your ancestors and you learn how to have that communication with your body, you will find that all of that comes to fall away and you know exactly what to replace your things with. And then, yeah, we've got cheese and the salty snacks, and we've got bread and carbs, and everything just pretty much, ice cream is pretty much the same as the cake situation. All those things pretty much come down to what we've already discussed. If you're craving salty snacks, it's usually about, again, about magnesium, but also electrolytes, which you can very easily bring into your body. You don't have to go and buy expensive electrolyte drinks or cheap electrolyte drinks with really high sugar and all that kind of stuff. All you need is an orange, cut it in half, get the juice out of it, put some water in it and a pinch of salt, and you have your electrolytes. Drink some coconut water and you have your electrolytes. Like, but do some research, like have that conversation with your body, like, okay, what do I need? It's this, so I'm gonna get that. You know what I mean? Um, then we have coffee, which is for the hand liggen, very obvious. Coffee equals energy. If you're craving coffee, if you need coffee, if you want coffee, if you're, oh, I'm gonna have coffee, your body's asking for energy, and it's asking for uh, clarity. It could also ask for elimination, by the way. For some people, when they drink coffee, they're like, I can go to the bathroom now to poop. But it that could also be a sign that you just need more fiber and more water, more hydration in your body, so that you can actually go to the bathroom without needing coffee to do it. Because coffee is extremely acidic. And believe me, I come out like coffee was something that I had to quit as well. And I have like an on and off relationship with it because it also has some benefits, but they're really not as great as. And again, it comes down to the source. Where does your coffee come from? How has it been processed? Da 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 da. Like all these things. But that again is another story. But yeah, coffee usually comes down to, and this is then an important one where you really need to have that conversation. It really comes down to, why is my body asking for energy right now, and how can I give it? How can I give my body the energy that it's asking for? So it could be that you just want some mental clarity to get some work done. But then you also got to look at, okay, what phase am I in? Am I in my inner autumn right now? Am I bleeding? Am I ovulating, or am I, ready to learn? All these things, it's a lot of information. I'm getting this. Thank you, both Bosai. Thank you for the channel, and thank you for showing me that I really need to start putting these things down so that I can actually get something wonderful going. Thank you. This is the reason why I started the live. I was like, I need to start talking about this so that so that I get that motor going again. But anyway, excuse me. So again, what what time of the month am I in that I'm actually wanting coffee right now, that my body wants extra energy, and how can I give it to it? Then down here we have mommy is making a cauliflower crumble, and it will be ready in a no time. But I don't want it. I know. I know you don't want it. Then we have down here some pretty good ones, obviously. Fruit and peanut butter and nut butters and just nuts in general and seeds and that kind of thing. It can be that you're craving that as well. Um, but as soon as it's a craving, you just need to have that conversation with your body, like, okay, why am I craving it? And if you look up the definition of a craving, it is something urgent. So it really is something that you need. But yeah, just ask like, okay, did my sugar drop? Like, you gotta ask, am I looking for comfort? Because it could also be that. You could ask, you could just ask, what do you need? And sit still and wait for the answer. It's all about developing that relationship and developing that conversation, getting used to that conversation with yourself. Now, last week I spoke about the inner seasons a little bit. That was my first time actually doing like a more structured live here on TikTok, because I have been doing it before on other platforms and years ago, but I finally coming back into talking about these things again. So if you want to see the replay, you just go to my profile, check the link tree, and find our, you know, that video channel where everybody goes to watch videos. Find it, it's on there, and you can watch it back so you can learn about the inner seasons. But I'm definitely gonna do more talks about the inner seasons. Let me see the time. Yeah, I got about 10 minutes left. So, and yeah, I don't want to rush y'all, but I have another image and I realized I didn't save that image. So I'm gonna see if I can save it and put it on the background so you can see all the things that you can replace it with. Because I've already been talking about it, but I would like for you to have a visual representation of what I was talking about as well. And yeah, nuts and seeds and nut butters, they usually talk about like macro minerals, um, just minerals in general. And minerals are there. They are like the salts of your body. They are like they feed the building blocks of your body. So it's really important to uh, when your body is asking for these things to actually be like, okay, uh, which mineral do you need, and learn how they feel. Like, just go do a little bit of investigation for yourself of like, okay, what does it mean? Why do I need magnesium? Why do I need calcium? What does it look like when I have a deficiency of calcium? What does it look like if I have too much of calcium? It's really important to know these things so that people outside of you cannot tell you about you. This is something that is part of going back to the basics. But stick with me for 2 minutes. I'm gonna pull up the image and put it in the background. Just give me a moment, I'll be back. I put up a different image in the background. Okay, so let me see. I think I save it now. This one, oh no, it didn't save. Okay, I know what happened and why it's not showing up because for some reason the first image was like an image, but the second image is like a file instead of an image. So let me make a screenshot of it and then I'll come back. Okay, I made a screenshot, so let me just see if that is gonna work. And if anything, I'll just do a part two of this where we literally talk about the replacement. Yeah, no, it didn't save. Okay, this is long. I don't like it. I'm done. So, yeah, I will do another live next week, literally about replacing this. And if you want to talk to me in the meantime about this, just send me a message because I'd be happy to. Like, I'm coming back out of my shell, y'all. Like, I'm not gonna do things the same way as I did years ago. Like, I'm ready. So, um, um, um. I wanted to say something about when you have gone through this process of learning, relearning, it's really remembering. That's all it is. Once you've gone through this process, you don't have to think so deeply about everything because when you will reach the point of intuitive eating and intuitive cooking, once you know, first of all, the first step is learning what your body needs and what your body wants and how your body is set up. And learning about the inner seasons will tell you a lot about that. The second thing is to know about um, kind of the basic needs and the basic requirements for healthy energy. And once you know those two things, it's very simple and you just adjust and it becomes part of you. So the things that you will consider would be like having different flavor profiles to satisfy every need. Because down here you see the pickles as well. Pickles and your body asking for sourness often has to do with processing. Yeah, you're a lucky girl. um, yeah, having like sourness in your body or craving sourness usually has to do with like breaking up certain fats in your body or breaking. It's usually to do with the process of breaking up. Think stomach acid. So if your body is asking for something acidic, it also has its purpose. So you have to really look at all the flavor profiles that are there, and if you just want to have like a general um, health set thing for yourself. I don't know how to say it differently, excuse me. Um, then you just got to bring your body back to balance because craving these things all show you an imbalance in your body. And you just have to learn the language. And I'm going to go into that. But I need to know a few things from you guys. One is, would you like this in Dutch also? Two is which of the things that I have said and spoken on so far would you like me to touch on more? And it doesn't have to be in this live or in these comments. You can just DM me directly and talk to me about it because this isn't about me. This is about what I can offer you in terms of information. Um, I don't I don't use AI as my source of information. This is coming from a deep knowing, but I do use AI as a tool to put these kinds of things together because I know some people are more visual, some people are more, but the information itself is really coming from my own experience and how uh, how I know things have worked because I have done this research. I am just re-remembering again, and I want to take you guys on that journey with me. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it for now. I feel like I've touched on a lot of things, and I'm even gonna look back at this for myself as well to see, you know, what more I can give and inform about. If you want this infographic, send me a message. We can exchange details so I can get the picture sent over to you. You can send me your email or whatever it might be, like what's easiest for you. Um, and also, like I said, next week I will be talking about alone. Is that you? um, Next week I will also be talking about yeah, the things you can replace this with. And I'm gonna go a little bit deeper into how you can communicate with yourself, your spirit, your body in terms of, you know, what you need the most to come back into balance. So I want to thank you for your presence, and I'm gonna carry on cooking before it gets too late. And yeah, the Dutch thing is important for me to know because then I have another day that I will go live and I'll just literally repeat the same topics. It's a practice for me as much as it's a teaching for you. I will have a picnic with you once I'm done with cooking. Okay. Yeah. So I love you too. Thank you for joining. And yeah, you are very appreciated. I'm doing this for y'all. I'm doing this for me. We gotta work together to get back to the basics, like to really just start trusting in our bodies again. And yeah, just knowing who we are. You're welcome. And I will see you on definitely on Tuesday, but also definitely before then in other lives. Much love and see you soon.